You're listening to the Mopcast Network.
Welcome to the Cult Movie Cantina. This is the podcast that looks at your favorite films, pairs it up with an alcoholic beverage, and shows it to someone who's not seen them. I'm your Native American pop culture spirit guide, Scotty, and I'm joined by later. I will be joined by Stephanie, Our Lady of Libations, and Justina, Our Jellicle Jester. Let me tell you what happened. I was really excited to shoot video for this episode, and when I did, I forgot to press the button on the audio and the record button on the audio, and it didn't work out, and so I missed 3 minutes. So I basically missed, like, you know, what I just told you and a couple of greetings, a little bit of story. Nothing major. We didn't lose anything for the movie. So the stuff that you're here for, we didn't lose. So there's that. I just want to give a couple of plugs before we start the show. I was recently on Movies Are Terrible, a great podcast by my friend Jeremy Branch, and we talked about the Aliens franchise, and it was kind of a game show, and I got to answer 30 questions against a cool gentleman from Mississippi, and I will not say if I won or not, so I'm going to make you listen to it, but I will say that it doesn't matter if you win or lose. I held the honor of this podcast up, so I think I did a good showing at least, so I'll let you listen to it. The link will be in the description below, so you can check it out. Also got a webcomic, chroniclesoflimbo.com. It's about a 300-year-old half vampire and her cosmically powered toddler, which you can kindly see over here if you got video. There's Mop. So we're recording from my office. It's almost finished. I'm really excited about it. This is the other side of the office. We always show you the side where we record, but I decided to flip it around to let you see a little bit of the other side. So if you're listening to this, you have no idea what I'm talking about, and that means you should go onto YouTube and watch the video. Well, I think I will let you go there. Just remember chronicleslimbo.com. Go check out the webcomic, and we will let the show start again with Stephanie in mid-sentence.
And was really, really sick. It was bad, but I'm better. I'm out of the hospital, and I'm here recording, so there you go.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you're back. I'm definitely glad you're back.
And I did not have COVID.
2 tests to prove it.
I was tested twice. It was not COVID.
No, she had an alien baby. There's that.
I did. I had an alien baby.
She was hardcore committed.
I was. I was trying to prepare for the podcast, and it just got out of hand.
She was like, aliens, let's do this. And grow it in me.
So let's dive into this.
All right.
So we did watch the 1986 film Aliens, which is a sequel to the 1979 film Alien. We'll watch the trailer now.
Just tell me one thing, Burke. You're going out there to destroy them, right? Not to study, not to bring back, but to wipe them out.
That's the plan.
All right, people, on the ready line. Are you me? Yeah! Are you me? Yeah! Get on the ready line, Marine! Get something to die! Get on the ready line!
There she is. Get your light up here.
Keep back, don't scare.
Movement! Talk to me, Hudson!
I got signals. I got readings in front and behind.
There's nothing back here.
Look, I'm telling you, there's something moving and it ain't us.
Get them out of there!
How could they cut the power, man? They're animals. There's movement all over the place. 5 meters, man. 4.
Aliens. This time, it's war.
I actually watched this trailer.
I did not watch the trailer.
Scotty had me watch it. Like, for the first... We did it on the last episode.
I mean,
he had me actually watch the trailer.
Oh, that's cool.
After I did the whole, what do you think the movie's about?
Uh-huh.
And then we decided to let her watch the trailer.
Here's the
Nice.
fun thing, is I watched the trailer and I was like, I've seen this movie. Like, I recognize her. I recognize the situation. I was like, she sleeps in this, like, hyperbaric chamber, right? Where she's, like, wearing hardly any clothes, and then people wake her up, and I've seen this movie. I had not seen this movie. BT Dub. Spoiler alert. I had not seen this movie. So I guess I saw Alien.
Yeah, the first one.
I guess. Because, like, the whole time I was like, I don't know what this is about.
Aliens came out again in 1986. It was written and directed by James Cameron. It was also written by Walter Hill and David Glear, and based on material by Dan O'Bannon and Ronald Shusett. O'Bannon has been on the Mopcast stuff before. We've done him on Return of the Living Dead when we had the old Bros, Boobs, and Movies show. So Dan O'Bannon recently passed, but he's done some good stuff. Movie stars Sigourney Weaver as Ripley, Paul Reiser as Burke, Michael Biehn, who was born in Alabama.
I love Michael Biehn.
I do too. As Hicks, Bill Paxton, the late great Bill Paxton as Hudson, Carrie Henn as Newt, Lance Hendrickson as Bishop, and a whole bunch of other people. That's as far as I'm going.
You didn't list my chick on there.
You didn't give
Vasquez?
I love her.
Vasquez.
The one that gets mistaken for a male sometimes. That one.
Yeah, but she's badass. And she was also in
She
Terminator
comes out of
2.
the chamber and she's like, pull-ups.
She was the foster mom in Terminator 2.
She's the foster mom in Terminator 2, and she's also in Titanic.
Yeah,
no.
She changes her appearance. She looks completely different in every movie
So
she does.
she's the Irish mother who's singing to her child as the ship is they're going to die, and so she's singing and putting them to bed.
Believe it or not, yeah.
And it's Vasquez.
Turn your wife. We need to look that up. I'm so intrigued.
I'll show the scene.
Because she was like a badass, specific kind of person in this movie.
I love her.
It would
so
be
hard.
interesting to watch her be an Irish singing mother on Titanic.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's only a
I'm gonna
quick
look
scene.
into it.
It's a quick scene. So, you ready for the sermon?
Well done.
Preach it.
Do it.
Brothers and sisters, gather round.
We're gathered.
We're gathered. We're
It
here.
was a quick gathering. For 57 years, Ellen Ripley has been in stasis in an escape shuttle after destroying her ship, the Nostromo, to escape a lethal alien creature that slaughtered her crew. Dun, dun, dun.
With her cat.
Aww.
It's not her cat.
Well, I know it's not her cat, but she escaped with it's her cat now.
It's not her cat
No, it's not her
because
cat. It's one of the engineer's cats.
Right, it's her cat now.
It's her cat now. The movie started. I was like, look at our kitty. Oh.
I kind of want to know what happens to Jonesy after this movie.
I know, right?
Exactly. I have some thoughts on the end of this movie. We'll get to that.
She is rescued and debriefed by her employers at the Weyland-Yutani Corporation, but they're skeptical of her claims that her crew found an alien egg in a derelict ship on the exomoon LV-426, as it now is the site of terraforming colony known as Halley's Hope. After contact is lost with the colony, Weyland-Yutani Representative Carter Burke and Colonial Marine Lieutenant Gorman ask Ripley to accompany them to investigate. Still traumatized from her alien encounter, she agrees on the condition that they exterminate the creatures. Aboard the spaceship, the USS Silvaco, she is introduced to the Colonial Marines and the android Bishop, who she's not happy with.
Space Marines.
Yeah, I've discovered that she has issues with artificial beings.
Well, that's because of the first movie.
Yeah.
I don't remember that much of the first movie.
We'll catch up in that.
So I feel like that has something to do with it.
If you got
probably.
questions, we'll do that, and
cool.
We'll get you caught up. A dropship delivers the expedition to the surface of LV-426, where they find the colony deserted. Inside, they find a makeshift barricades and battle signs, but no bodies, 2 live facehuggers in containment tanks, and a traumatized young girl named Newt, the sole survivor. The crew locates the colonists grouped beneath the fusion-powered atmosphere processing station. They head to the location, descending into the corridors covered in alien secretion. At the center of the station, the Marines find the colonists cocooned, serving as incubators for the creature's offspring. The Marines kill an infant alien after it bursts from a colonist's chest, rousing multiple adult aliens who ambush the Marines, killing or capturing most of them. When the inexperienced Gorman panics, Ripley assumes command, taking control of the armored personal carrier and rams the nest to rescue Corporal Hicks, Private Hudson, and Vasquez. Hicks orders the dropship to recover the survivors, but stowaway aliens kill the pilots, causing it to crash into the station. The remaining group barricades themselves inside the colony. Ripley discovers that Burke had ordered the colonists to investigate the derelict ship containing the alien egg, intending to become wealthy by recovering alien specimens for use as biological weapons. She threatens to expose them, but Bishop informs the group that the dropship crash damages the power plant cooling system, and it will soon explode and destroy the colony. He volunteers to crawl through the extensive piping conduit to reach the colony's transmitter and remotely pilot the Sulaco, the remaining dropship to the surface. Ripley and Newt fall asleep in the medical laboratory, awaking to find themselves locked in the room with two facehuggers, which have been released from their tanks. Ripley triggers the fire alarm to alert the Marines, who rescues them and kills the creatures. Ripley accuses Burke of releasing the facehuggers so they could impregnate her and Newt and allow to smuggle the embryos past the Earth quarantine, and plan on killing the rest of the Marines so no one could contradict his version of events. The power suddenly cut, and aliens assault through the ceiling. In the ensuing firefight, Burke flees, but is cornered by an alien and is killed, while Hudson is captured and covered. After covering the alien, others retreat. Gorman and the injured Vasquez sacrifice themselves to stall the aliens. Hicks is injured and Newt is captured. Ripley and Hicks reach Bishop in the second dropship, but Ripley refuses to abandon Newt. The group travels to the processing station, allowing a heavily armed Ripley really heavily armed Ripley.
It was pretty awesome.
to enter the hive and rescue Newt. As they escape, the two encounter the alien queen in her egg chamber. When an egg begins to open, Ripley uses a flamethrower to destroy the eggs and the queens. And this is a new word for me. Aviposture.
Aviposture.
I'd never heard of that. Did y'all know?
No.
That's the thing that she was laying in the eggs. I looked it up. Insects do that. Insects have those. Mm-hmm. So I learn something every day. In fact, for bees, they're stingers. That's what they are. And they have just evolved to have venom sacs in them.
Interesting.
All right, side note. Pursued by the enraged Queen, Ripley and Newt reunite with Bishop and Hicks on the dropship. All four escape moments before the station explodes, with the colony consumed by the nuclear blast. On the Sulaco, the group is ambushed by the Queen, who stowed away in the ship's landing gear. The Queen tears Bishop in half and advances on Newt, but Ripley battles the creature using an exosuit cargo loader and expels it through an airlock into space. Ripley, Newt, Hicks, and the critically damaged Bishop enter hypersleep and then return to Earth.
We think.
Credits.
Oh,
it was so good.
It's the weirdest cliffhanger. It upset me so much. I just need you to know that I was watching this and I was awake. And I actually stayed awake through the whole thing and didn't crochet, just watched it.
Really?
Because I was in bed and I was tired. I don't know how I stayed awake. I genuinely don't. Because I've hit the point in my life with everything going on that as soon as I hit a bed, I'm asleep.
Yeah, that must be nice.
It's, well, like, I'm so tired that if I lay down, I'm asleep. So I'm sitting there and I was like, watching. They go into hyper chambers, credits, and I was like, but.
She's like, I'm smashing equipment.
But do they make it? Does somebody wake them up? Do they survive? I don't know.
You have to watch the third movie.
That's exactly what she said, half awake. So Derby wife, I was like, I woke her up. She was actually sleeping. And I went, Jennifer, wake up, Jennifer. And she rolled over half awake, and I was like, but do they make it? Does anybody wake them up? Do they make it? She's like, you have to watch the next one. And then fell back asleep again. I was like, a stupid movie. So angry.
So I can tell you, if you'd want to know.
Yeah, because I don't know if I'll get around to ever watching the third one, so go ahead.
No.
No, I have to watch the third one.
No, you don't. I can tell you what. So there's a fire on the Sulaco, and before the ship is destroyed, the hyperpods, the sleep pods, work as a escape pod. So they're dropped into space, and it crash lands on a planet called Fury, which is like it's a prison planet for men who are terrible people, but it's been so long it's now become a monastery.
Interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
That's psychologically interesting.
Newt and Hicks drown. Ripley survives.
Newt doesn't even make it.
Right.
I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it.
So you have to understand, I was 9 years old when I saw Aliens. And
second.
The second one. And so Newt, I had this connection with Newt because she was a kid and I'm a kid. My father took me to see Alien 3. And when that happened, I looked at him and said, "I'm good. We could go home now."
Does that happen at the beginning?
Yeah, it's like it's in the credits. It's not even a good death. It's like dead, and I'm like,
seriously, if I would have immediately started Aliens 3. It's Alien 3.
So it's Alien.
And that would have happened. I've been like,
did it have a sidebar name? Alien 3?
No.
The names are weird, man.
So it's Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, and Alien Resurrection. That's the 4.
Where's Covenant?
And then Alien versus Predator.
So Covenant and Covenant is technically a sequel to Prometheus. So it's Prometheus, then Covenant, Alien Covenant.
And those are prequels.
Sort of. I don't know.
But then you get the convoluted Predator movies that intermingle with the Alien movies, like Alien versus Predator, which I love, by the way.
I like the second one. The first one's ridiculous, but the second one's kind of fun. So my question to you, really, honestly, and I've been wanting to know all week, did you like it?
I mean, I watched it.
Okay, there's that.
I feel like that's a big thing. I watched it.
I get you.
I stayed awake the whole time, laying in a bed at 10 o'clock at night, which is sleepy time. I was wide awake after I got over. I was intrigued enough to go, but what happened next? I even woke her up from a sleep, which she does not remember, to tell me, you have to watch the next one, and then fell back asleep, and I was like, why though? But
you think you would have liked it more had you been more awake and less tired? And
it was a good movie. Yeah. It was. I do like. There were things that bothered me. I can't remember them right now in this moment.
Well, if they come to you as we talk, you can always bring them up.
Possibly, and I can bring up those little instances. But as far as watching it now in 2020, and I have not seen that one before, I think it still stands up. Like the creature for the alien is unique enough that it doesn't throw you off that it's made in the 80s.
The alien is iconic.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like, it's not, some things you watch that were made in the 80s, and especially if there's like
cheesy
a bad guy of some sort, you watch it and you're like, okay, I'm so scared. Yeah, come and get me, alien.
Their special effects department was phenomenal.
I think it held up. I really do.
I was surprised too. It's been a while since I've seen it, and when I don't do this for any of our movies. I watched it twice. I had so much fun watching and remembering how, just had a blast.
Yeah.
And so I was like, so the next night I was like, well, I could watch, I'll just watch Aliens again. And I did, and loved it again, and just was really surprised of how well it held up.
I agree.
It's all practical effects. And so, but
they were so good.
Yeah, not all the shots, but majority of the alien shots look like real creatures. The way
I have no issues with the alien shots. The only things that I ever pointed out were that right when the movie started and she gets found and she's sitting on this bench, I seriously looked over and I was like, that's a green screen. She's pretending to look out, and then she changed the screen.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, it's an actual screen in her movie too. It's not even just a green screen.
Right.
But beside that, it was the only other time that it threw me off is when the ship's flying through the clouds.
Right.
That looked fake, but that was it.
Right.
The rest of it held up really well for being 30 to 40 years old. Right. It held up really well. So it was nice.
That's cool.
It was a good movie.
That's cool.
I would recommend it.
How was your rewatch?
I loved it. I make my husband watch these movies with us, no matter what it is, if it's a horrible movie or a good movie. This is one he was actually excited about because we watch these movies. We watch the Alien franchise. We watch the Predator franchise. We watch sci-fi movies. So it was really good. But I could not help but watching these movies gives me this kind of feeling of nostalgia, from my childhood, because my mom and I would watch these movies together, and I just loved it. And I remember what I enjoyed about it is there were still a couple of places where I actually jumped at, and it's hard to make me jump anyway, but for a movie that I'm familiar with and everything, to still kind of have a couple places that get me, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a lot.
What spots made you jump? Do you remember?
There.
I do. I don't know what made me jump. Every time I watch it makes me jump, but I know it's coming. when the Marines go into med lab for the first time and they see the facehuggers in the tank, and Bert goes to tap it and the thing jumps at him.
Yeah.
I jump every time. I know it's coming.
There's a couple of like jump scares like
Love
that.
at first sight.
I want to say that one, and I want to say there was another instance when it was just her and Newt towards the end of the movie. And I can't remember if it's before Newt got grabbed or after, but there's something in that run of the movie that makes me jump, and I don't remember what it was, to be honest. But I just love it. I just love those movies.
I think the creepiest part of that movie that I found myself going, oh, that was cool, was Newt being in the water, because you know something's coming.
Yeah, that
like you know in that moment you're like, something's about to get to her, and then the thing goes off.
She's very chill though. She's in the water. She's just like
she's like sweet little badass.
She's like, we're coming for you, Newt. She's like, okay.
But like when she's sitting there and then it slowly comes out of the water and it just like hovers over her. That like I watched that and I was like, well done. Okay. That one was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool little move.
She's a pretty cool little actress. She was. It's kind of a shame because I looked and I haven't seen that she really did anything else after this.
There's a lot of that in the trivia.
Yeah, but she's from my hometown. She's from Panama City, Florida.
Oh, cool.
So I thought that's cool. So, and now she's like our age. So, well, mine is Scotty's age, not your age. So
she was my age.
She's your age, 78. She I think was born.
Well,
in 78.
that is more fascinating for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that you said you were like, now when you watch them, it doesn't matter. I didn't connect. But
right.
In that moment, I'm like, that's little baby Scotty.
Yeah, little baby Scotty was watching this, loving this movie. Loving this movie.
Right.
Absolutely.
So I thought that was really cool that we're from the same hometown. So
I wish that they would have had Alien 3, or Alien 3. Ripley fought so hard for her, and you know it's because she gets out of this 57-year-long, thank you, sleep. And she lost her daughter. Like, her daughter had a life, grew up, had a life, and passed away while she was sleeping, essentially. So it's hard not to, wish that they would have had that relationship. And to know the next one starts them going, drown her and drown him. Boom, gone. Ripley, you're awake. What do you do? Boom. You have no cats. You have no kid. What's next?
Right. And they shave your head.
Oh, she goes bald?
She's bald in the next film.
I like it. I like the bald head because that.
It's one of David Fincher's first films, though. It's not a bad watch. It's not my favorite.
See, and I like that one. I like the third one, but I like that whole. Well, it goes back to the Star Trek thing. There's something about prisons that I like.
You like prisons?
And I can't explain it, but one of my favorite Star Trek movies is the one where they're all in a Klingon prison. So, it's I'm a weirdo. Yeah, I'm a weirdo. I like prison movies. I'm sorry.
So the third one's a prison.
Yeah,
because she's in that monastery.
Yeah. So originally it's a prison for it's a men's prison who are like murderers and rapists and really hardcore people, but it kind of gets forgotten and shuffled, and so instead of they all get paroled, but their parole is that they're stuck on the side. They don't know how to live.
They can't leave.
They can't leave, but they're
stuck on the planet.
Yeah, but they don't have to live in a prison, and so they
just form a monastery.
They become religious and they form a monastery.
Sounds
and there's still
right.
a warden that kind of watches over them, but they just can't leave the planet.
They're peaceful.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, cool.
Anyway,
I'm just really upset with the fact, it doesn't matter what her hair looks like. She fought so hard for her, then she ran back with all the ammo by herself, like this little badass that she is, and got her from this nest surrounded by eggs and found the queen who could just detach the umbilical cord at will, by the way.
But you have to understand.
I took it a little force.
These movies are not about. Ripley is a focal point, but it's not about Ripley's happiness. These movies are about battling the alien. It's like always battling the alien.
But I'm with you. She needed to be happy.
but her happiness.
So, what I love about this film is that it fools you. It reintroduces Ripley to her, and then it bashes her. She has a terrible time in the meeting where she loses her license.
And Burke didn't say anything, by the way.
Yeah, Burke doesn't do anything.
In that moment, I would have lost all trust in that dude.
And Burke doesn't do anything. He's like, well, that could have went better.
But yeah, you could have spoke up, you little douchebag.
But because no one believes that there's aliens. And then it's all focused on these Marines. And so you're like, oh, it's going to be this movie about Marines versus aliens, which it is until the point where they all die.
Like all of them.
There's all but like 3. And then it becomes Ripley's movie the moment she just takes over the truck. And she's like, she tells the Marines to get out of there. Gorman's like, don't, because he's way over his head.
Yeah.
She takes over the APC. He tries to stop her. And it's like Ripley's movie she's taking charge. She's the leader. She's like, and it's amazing. Just,
right.
And the Marines don't even question it. They're like, yeah, she's in charge.
We're good with this.
Even with Gorman knocked out, but I think they would have just listened to her.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the conversation about what do we do, and it's like, well, I think we should go back to the ship and nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
Absolutely.
Oh, that scene was one of my favorite because it was that, like, up until then she is like in the background. She's like, I've already been here. I've already experienced this. I already know what's going to happen. And these Marines are so cocky, and they're like, we're going to protect you, and we're going to save you. And then the moment that she steps up, they're like, she knows what she's doing. We're going to listen. And then she gets back. She's like, well, we're going to take off and nuke them from orbit. And he's like, no, we're not. That's like, I can't authorize that. That's lots of money. And she's like, well, I feel like based on military, whatever, Hicks is in charge, right? Hicks, you in charge?
Hicks was like,
and Hicks was like, yes, ma'am. All right, so we're going to do this, and we're going to take off. We're going to nuke it from orbit.
Only way to be sure.
Son. Only way to be sure, is that right?
I couldn't. Yeah, it was like, what a little douchebag, man.
Burke is terrible.
All he's worried about is the bottom dollar, and I'm like, you see you have seen the alien, you have seen these face huggers, you know what's going on, and you're still trying to protect your property?
No, he's not worried about the property. I think he already
money.
Right.
Right. Well, he's like, if you destroy this, all the property, this is worth so much money.
No, he's not. I will contend that he has no interest in Hadley's Hope. However, if you do nuke it, you nuke all the aliens, and that's where the real money is. He's trying to make biological weapons.
Because he brought up the whole face huggers.
Right,
like, we're taking those back.
Right, and Bishop's like, we're going to take those back, and she's like, no, you're going to destroy them.
I got specific orders. You artificial being.
Either way, he's a douchebag.
So in the first one,
yeah, he was.
So in the first one, the situation that happens this way is that it's basically space truckers, and they're in a spaceship and they're hauling ore. They're awakened from their hypersleep because they're on their way home because of this distress signal that's come down, and so they have to, by contract, they have to go investigate it. So they go investigate it, and that's when the Kane, John Hurt, and gets the alien on his face, and then eventually has the face hugger.
So what is Ripley's actual job title?
She's a warrant officer for the company, so she would technically be third in command in the first movie. She's third in command.
Okay.
So because it was Tom Dallas's character, then Kane, then her. So she's third in command. So she's got a little clout, and the company sends word to the master computer mother to tell the android Ash, who's the medical officer, that we're going to keep these things. And then she finds out, and then when she finds out, Ash tries to kill her by sticking a magazine down her throat.
And Ash is the
evil
artificial.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And so
was the android.
But they were like performing on the orders from like above her.
Right. He was
artificial being was like, these are the orders I have.
But that's why she doesn't trust them, because they can be programmed to do what somebody else. She doesn't know who's controlling the androids.
Right.
Correct.
One tried to kill her. Like literally, he rolled a new like it was a magazine, rolled it up and then stuck it down her mouth. I was trying to choke her with it. It's a tough scene, and they knock his head off and set him on fire. It's pretty awesome. But
she goes through some shit. She deserved that kid.
At
least she got the cat.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. She's gonna flip the table.
I quit this podcast. I can't do this anymore.
I can't talk about Newt enough. I like the Newt's very chill for being the situation. Like when they find her and they're like, "You think you'll be safer with us?" She's like, "No,
not really."
I like that too. She's like, "No, I'd like to go now, please. Thank you.
I'm good. I got this. I have a system.
We can take care of you. No, you can't. No, you can't. I'm out.
We're all gonna die. I'm just gonna go over here." And so,
I also like that they call back her technique when they're trying to get out. They get stuck in an area, and she's like through the tunnels, like she knows the tunnels. I appreciated that too, that they brought that back up.
Right. She's a tough little kid.
Yeah, she is.
So can we talk about Hudson?
Sure.
Which one's Hudson?
Hudson's the one who won't shut up.
The one that
the one that
whines.
freaks out all the time. Oh my gosh.
It's like I wanted him to die.
Bill
so
Paxton.
I wanted him to die so bad. Too.
I'm the only one who's like, I love Hudson.
I hate him. I hate him.
I liked him at first, and then he kept whining about everything. I was like, dude,
And it's like
He's having a bad day.
I have bad days constantly. Like, get it together.
my husband and I were talking about him too. It's like it's amazing how his career developed. Because in these earlier movies, he's not a great actor. He's really not. He becomes a good actor.
I recognize him. So what else is he in?
He's been in a lot of
A lot of stuff.
I know he has, and I knew his face.
Trying to think, Titanic. He's in Titanic.
Is everybody in Titanic? Like,
What? Because it's a James Cameron movie. The guy who made Aliens made Titanic.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, James Cameron has an Oscar.
He also makes Terminator.
Terminator did.
Well, Terminator and Aliens goes a little bit more together than Titanic.
Yeah, he did.
Titanic's like, let's do a fun romance. We're just an iceberg as the alien. It'll be fun.
I'm gonna hit the ones that I think you've seen.
We should do
so.
Titanic on the show. Actually, I think
I have some interesting like childhood stories about Titanic.
because
Near, far.
not even that,
I'm
but the
I have seen that one a couple of times.
there are great stories that go along with Titanic.
It was a 2 DVD special. It was 2 DVDs. You had to change it out in the middle.
Oh, I remember when it came out on VHS. These two blocky.
That's what I meant,
Yeah,
VHS.
VHS.
Because I used to have to like put it in and then pull the other one out, and my dad had them in like this box set. It was 2 VHS boxes. That's what I meant. Yep.
Right.
I don't like Hudson though. I think.
Well,
Hudson's-
you know he was in Twister.
That's what it was.
Yeah, it's Twister. Yeah,
That's
he's the
what
main
it
guy,
was.
Twister.
He was in Apollo
'Cause-
13,
Nah.
True Lies,
Nah.
Tombstone.
Nah. Oh, wait. We saw that.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
With the dude with the mustache.
Yep.
They
so
all had
he was not
mustaches.
but he was not the one with the majestic mustache. He was the
He
one
was
that was
the younger
dying and
brother.
coughing
Yeah,
all
he's
the
the one
time.
He
that-
was Morgan.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's the one who gets killed on the
Okay.
pool table.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah, he's the one who's like about when you die, we see the light and goes, I can't see nothing, and he dies. It's like, oh, it's terrible.
I'm saying he did. I mean,
Bye,
he was
Hudson.
in really some really good movies. He's like, but some of his earlier stuff to me is just like,
You know that I've watched so
on the
many
flip side,
movies.
I think he's good in this, and this is why I think he's good at this because yes, he's over the top, but you got to come where he's coming from. He was 2 weeks and out. He had 2 weeks to go before his tour duty was over,
Aw.
and so he's like, I'm going to coast this, and suddenly, oh no, I'm literally battling for my life. Yeah, he kind of flips on this. He freaks out.
I understand, but he's also a Marine. You need to act like a Marine.
He's a Colonial Marine. I don't know if they're quite the same. I don't know if they're. Maybe this division is softer in space.
I don't know, man. Did you see Vasquez? She didn't look soft at all.
Oh, Vasquez is great.
I don't think she has a soft part on her.
I love
I just
her
want to point
so
that out.
hard.
Anywhere.
I love her getting out of the her little cryo chamber or whatever and
And
start
go
doing
straight to
pull-ups.
pull-ups?
And I'm like, oh, that's my girl.
Those pull-ups were real.
Yep.
All I thought about the whole time is I can hold myself if I'm already up there for like maybe 5 seconds. But I cannot
She
do
was
a
cranking
pull-up.
them out, man.
She
I
was
cannot
cranking
do a
them up.
pull-up.
I thought that was awesome. I was like, look at that girl.
I'll show you bad. She's the one who gets everybody in trouble because she's the one who immediately starts reloading after they take all their guns, all the ammo, and she's like, all right, here's this other one. Drake, here's one for you, buddy.
You talking about when they're like, don't shoot?
Yeah, don't shoot.
It feels like that scene would have gone a little bit more drastically with the whole don't shoot. Like, so they weren't supposed to shoot for a specific reason because the ship was by the, I don't remember,
look
like
at you.
cooling or something or whatever.
So it's basically a nuclear reactor, and if you shoot holes to the coolant, it will cause it to explode.
It'll
Right.
explode.
So they had this very specific scene about that, and then shooting happens. Like they take all the ammo, shooting happens, and then it felt like nothing exploded.
No, the whole complex explodes at the end.
But it feels like if you're gonna freak out about it so much, like the exploding would happen sooner, not like when everybody leaves.
Well, it takes time.
But it's just one of those where I was like watching it, like the shooting came out, and they're like, stop shooting, stop shooting, stop shooting.
Because basically what it goes
And I was
into
like, nothing is
a
happening.
meltdown.
Just keep shooting. Just keep doing it. You're fine. It's fine. At this point, it's fine. Everything's fine. Shoot, Vasquez. Do what you need to do. You little badass rebel, you.
I was curious why. I was curious why.
That giant gun.
The smart rifle, why the smart gun or the pulse rifle could shoot, but you could still have the shotgun and pistols and flamers. And I was just like, wouldn't those all just be bad in this situation? No, it's fine. Also, like their response to when they find the survivor in the cocoon, And she's all like, kill me, and the thing comes out of her chest, and they just were like, hand me the flame.
That's right.
They're not gonna stop. They're just gonna burn it up.
Just burn it up.
Which gets them all in trouble.
What is this here?
So I have a.
I'm so curious.
It's a toy.
It's a toy, but it's a Ripley and Newt figure set.
Open the back.
No, you can look at it.
Open the front.
Oh, look
Open
at
Oh, look at that.
Look at them.
Yeah, so I got that a couple of years back.
Newt looks weird on here.
I thought she looked pretty good.
I think she looks good. I think she's too tall. I think she's
she looks too big.
So. Yeah, that's from NECA. NECA made that.
It's pretty cool.
Hold on. Let me look this over. I mean, I guess it's okay. I like her pocket on the front of her pants for Ripley. That's pretty cool. She's got a front pocket on her thigh. Yeah, girl, it's got a zipper. I can see it. Those shoes are pretty badass.
So do you have a libation for us?
I do. I have a couple. I wish I could have brought stuff today, but
we're recovering from the
recovering,
hospital,
so I can't drink, and I also haven't been able to go to the liquor store. So
We'll forgive you this time.
However,
I mean, you could have gone to the liquor store. That's an excuse. It's been like our theme this last week. That's an excuse. I don't want to hear excuses.
That's an excuse.
Scotty was like, I haven't been able to do that. That's an excuse.
So I have a couple, and I'm going to send you some pictures because they
sweet. I'll put them on the website.
They're kind of cool looking. But the first one is called an alien egg shot.
Oh.
It looks disgusting.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
I figure it looks like snot.
It does. I love it. So it's a half ounce of Midori, a half ounce of peach schnapps in a shot glass.
What is Midori?
Midori is like a melon liqueur.
Okay, gotcha.
So we got melon and peach so far.
Right. And then you take and you top it with Bailey's, but slowly pour like Bailey's Irish cream so it curdles. I'm going to pass around the pitcher.
Okay, hold on. So it curdles.
Do you see the curdling?
It's like trying to hang on. Okay.
Oh. Right?
Would you shoot it?
Yeah, and you just shoot it really quick because
it looks like what it looks like when you make poached eggs in the water. Like it looks like the water and then
like
a poached egg in the middle with all the stringy stuff
gross.
around it.
That's gross.
So I want to try that because I like all those ingredients. That sounds really interesting. And another one that I'm definitely going to make us when I am better is called the Android Blood Cocktail. And I love this because it looks like, when he was cut in half and all the white and everything, and it's like, this is awesome. I love this. So
what is this one?
Well, it's something I have to make in mass because you make it like a big picture
party?
of it.
Like a punch.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so it's 8 cups of coconut milk, 2 cups of coconut rum.
Okay, so far you got me.
Oh yeah, it's 1/3 cup of coconut or cane syrup, a tablespoon of vanilla extract, and then you garnish with whipped cream and the white chocolate Lindt balls. Those little.
I'm about it right now.
Yeah, so this is, and it's a little complicated. Well, not really complicated, but it takes a minute.
And got to prep it.
Right. So in a saucepan, you take the coconut milk, the vanilla, and sugar, and you're going to cook it kind of on medium-low. You're going to stir it until all the sugar is dissolved, and it's simmering, and it takes about 5 minutes to do this. And then you're going to put it in the fridge once it cools and just let it completely chill. And then you're going to take it out of the fridge, add in the rum, and then mix it, pour it into your glasses. You can top with the whipped cream if you want to. And then you add the kind of Lindt balls kind of floating around there if you want to.
So nice.
So it's supposed to be, it sounds so good. And
that sounds nice.
Yeah, but it's so neat. I love the
I'm sorry,
picture
Bishop, but we would like to drink you.
It's so great because the picture that came with it.
Oh, look, it's Ash.
It's Ash
Yeah.
from the first one.
Is that
this
the
is
first
Ash.
one?
It's from the first, from
he
the
deserved
first one.
to die.
But the second is it's the whole that white blood stuff or
Yeah.
the white android blood. Oh, it's so awesome. So I can't wait. Those are the 2 cocktails, and we will post these.
Yeah, we'll post them on the
online
website. Before I go now, Apocrypha, because we haven't done Apocrypha in a while because we didn't have any. I've got some Apocrypha for this one because of the way the script was worked out. Because you remind me of the Bishop scene. So we had both seen, but since you hadn't seen it, so they get back to the ship. It's all safe, and they're all thanking each other, and all's good. And then all hell breaks loose. Did that surprise you?
Okay, which part? Because it feels like it was constantly like, we're safe, and then we're not safe again.
The end of the movie, after they've rescued Newt, they're on the ship, and
they get off, and she's like, "You did a good job, Bishop. You did well. Like, I'm surprised." And then like he gets. Oh no, I knew that was coming.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because when they took off, like first of all he like wasn't there. I was like, I bet he's gonna come up over the edge. Just wait.
It's
I bet
a she,
he is.
mind you. This is the queen.
Oh, so sorry, she. No, I'm saying he by Bishop.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so but Bishop is not there. And then when Bishop comes up and they get on and like she climbs them up and they go to shut it and then like the turbulence happens and he goes to this side. I was like, the alien's on there. You scooped it up. Because he like moved to the side and like you watch and the ship's like starting to go up and then it stops like right here. And I was like, well, there's the alien. Right there. So they got out. She's like, you did good. And I was like, where is it at? Like, so I knew it was coming, but I had seen it take the elevator. Like it saw the thing ding and was like, that seems smart. I'm just gonna climb in there. It's fine.
There you go.
I love the scene after she goes and gets the power loader and fights it in the power loader.
Yeah, she shuts herself up and then like shuts the door. And the alien sits there for a second and is like, well, I'm going to go for the little kid. And I was like, why would you shut yourself away from the alien? Because now the kid's exposed. And then she comes out in that little ching, 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 ching. I was like, all right, cool. Now we're Transformers.
I like its new name.
Ching, 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 ching. She did that when she like tried it out like a badass in front of all the dudes, which I really love too. Where she's like, I could do that. And it's like, sure you can. And then she comes out, she's like, where would you like it?
I do like that. I feel like
where would you like it?
Fifth wheel right here. Is there anything I can do? Well, I don't know. Is there anything you can do?
There was a couple of times where I was like, get it, girl.
I like this movie because it's quotable. There's so much in it.
There were so many like rhyming things that came up, and I can't remember any of them. The crew kept saying them. The crew had so many things that they kept saying.
Hudson's is one of his when he finds the colonists drop your linen and start to grinning.
Yes, so many things like that came up that I was like, this is so quotable, and I can't remember any of the things that have
My favorite
have been
Hudson
said
line.
so far.
Everyone's favorite Hudson line, I think, is "Game over, man." Game over, man. Game over, man. Mine is what? Did you just put her in charge when he's talking about Newt?
Yeah.
And so
yes.
What? You just put her in charge?
Yes.
You ready for some Apocrypha?
Yes.
So, what I read for the sermon was the sermon for Aliens, not the special edition.
Oh, I watched the special edition.
Right.
So we need to talk about the difference, too.
That's what the Apocrypha is for.
Oh, fun.
Look at you.
Oh, no.
So, I'm going to ask... I don't know if... Do you know? Here's the question.
No, see, I don't know. What's the question?
Our psychic link's a little damaged because you're on medication, right?
I'm on medication.
Right. So, give me two scenes in what you watch that you don't think made the original cut.
Did you did you also watch the special edition?
I did watch the special edition, and
Okay.
it's been a long time since I watched the original. So
Interesting.
This will be a fun game.
I know.
So there are two scenes.
No, there's more than two, but I'll let you pick two.
Okay. Oh my gosh. That didn't make the original cut. You go first.
Oh no, ma'am. I have to think. I'm
thinking. Okay, so starting from the beginning, I feel like the scene with the family scavenging is important because they find the ship. That's important. That has to stay. The scene with Bishop doing his knife thing is important because you discover that he's an android. That has to stay. The scene where she first wakes up is important. Hold on. I'm going to go through them all. This is going to be really impressive to know how well I know
the
these.
The scene where the kids are riding the big wheel through the...
Okay. That's one.
Okay.
One.
I agree.
I don't think that's necessary.
It could have been cut to take that out because I didn't even remember it. So
there you go. That's one.
It is one of those that came up where it's like, oh, there's just kids everywhere. It reminded me of WALL-E. Like they're just floating in the spacecraft and the kids are just riding. You're like, you can't be up here. Big wheels away. Honestly, the first thing I thought of in that moment is, how do they get coffee? Did they take enough coffee? Do you have to buy special coffee, or do you guys all have to drink the same coffee? Like, is it all just generic coffee while you're up there, or like can you buy the special coffee
you just
want?
You just get
like,
all you get is this one coffee.
Like that happened. I was like, so how does this work? Like, do you guys get paid? Do you pay for do you buy the things that you want, or do you guys all get community coffee? Because not like community coffee, but like generic cheap coffee.
Right.
I imagine
I'm a little bit of a coffee
whatever
snob.
kind of rations that are available.
I would quit. Like as soon as I got the coffee, I was like, send me back. I'm done. That's a good one though. So I appreciate that because I forgot about that one. Hang on, let me go through the movie. She wakes up. They have the meeting. Stop it. They have that. Well, do you think? Okay, possibly they cut out the thing about her daughter, but I don't feel like they would have because that makes that connection with Newt really important. So I feel like that would have stayed.
So here's the answers.
Okay, give us some answers.
But I was gonna go through the whole movie. I just got to the daughter.
We don't have time for that.
Oh my gosh, don't we though?
So
No.
the special edition includes 17 minutes of extra scenes.
I know. I was trying to find them all for you.
Ripley discussing her daughter with Burke.
Oh, that was one.
Fun,
Look at that.
but it was essential to the movie.
Ripley being demoted by the board.
That wasn't in there?
There's a portion of it in there, but not the whole scene.
Oh.
Newt's parents discovering the abandoned alien ship.
I specifically brought up how important that was. Oh my gosh.
It was cut as well as the front tag of that were them with the kids and stuff. So, but that whole scene's cut.
I guess they would be connected because it's like, would they get credit?
No. The reason why that scene's important is because it's informing the audience that someone sent that family from the company out to find the ship, which later you find out it was Burke who sends the message to Newt's parents to go find the ship. So
Burke hears that news from
Ripley
and was like, hey,
we can make some money.
We can make some money.
And so
they find it, and then they get hurt. Why was that cut, though? To save 17 minutes. It's fine. It's fine. Hollywood's stupid sometimes.
A tour through the Savacos prior to the Marines waking up, so right before that scene is much shorter. Hudson bragging about weaponry as they're on the drop ship. So he's like, we got sharp knives and sticks. Ripley.
Oh, yeah. He's like, we got you. We're going to take care of you.
Right, yeah.
Oh,
Me and my ultimate squad of badasses are here to protect you, Ripley. Whole scene's cut.
I would have cut that. It's fine.
Still one of my favorite scenes, though.
No, it annoyed me. The whole time I was like, you're such an idiot. Shut up. Sit down. I bet you're going to cry first.
Ripley hesitates before she enters the colony complex on the planet. The robot sentry gun scenes are added for this. They weren't in the original.
So, like, the sentries they set up that shoot and then they watch it count down?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
The Marines theorizing about an alien leader as source of the egg. So, like, when Hudson's like, like ants, like the big one, the mama. That one's not in there.
Right.
And then Hicks and Ripley exchanging first names are not.
Ellen. Dwayne.
In the
we'll just go by Ripley. It's
so
fine.
When Sigourney Weaver saw the cut, she was pissed because she thought, as I do, that taking those scenes out diminishes the relationship with Ripley and Newt. Why does this woman connect? Because if you don't know about her daughter or anything, she just picks up this girl and is like, all right.
That's exactly what I said, too. Like, you need those scenes to establish a connection with her and Newt and the fact that she had to go back for her.
And what's crazy is 17 minutes is not a lot. Why
it's
would
not.
you cut? I mean...
But back in the... I feel like back
TV,
in the 80s...
I guess, to make it fit for TV
Right,
time.
so we're also thinking of 1986, too. And so, they were... While this movie's still long, there's a point where it could be too long for audiences to watch through this, and now we've got to
Now we've got 3-hour movies, and we're like, what is 2 hours and 30 minutes? It's fine.
So
yeah, guys.
Yeah, so there's that. I first knew about a special edition when I saw it on the first time it aired on national television, like in 1987, and it was the sentry gun scenes. So they'd cut a bunch out because they had to make it 3 hours long for commercials.
With commercials,
Plus, they had to take out gratuitous violence and all that stuff. So, and what they replaced it with some scenes that they cut. And one of those scenes they cut was they put back in was the sentry guns. So I was like, oh, there's more stuff to this. I bought a bootleg copy of it at DragonCon like in '96. That's the first time I saw the whole thing.
Oh, that's cool.
And then it finally came out on DVD. And so now when you watch it, until recently, the version that you can get on home video is the special edition. They just started putting out the regular edition as a side thing, but or you get them as a dual pack. But
I would agree with her. I would have been really upset too, because all of the things you took out, like the family, like going out and scavenging, that's Newt, and that establishes like her family dying in front of her. And honestly, it establishes her scream, which kind of becomes iconic throughout it. Like, it was annoying at first, and then the next, it kind of became her, like, staple. And it's the thing that helped Ripley find her at the end. She couldn't find her by the tracker, and then she screamed, and she could find her by that. So as much as it was annoying, it was one of those plant and payoff things where it was established from the beginning. There was so much of that was essential to their relationship, and this character specifically, that cutting all that out just diminished Newt in and of herself, and that's upsetting.
Yeah.
I didn't really find her scream annoying, though, because she screamed at appropriate times.
Right.
I felt
she
it's
did.
Like she was not.
It wasn't Hudson.
Yeah, she wasn't a Hudson.
Or Dakota Fanning in War of the Worlds, who basically screams through the entire film.
Right. Well,
I've seen that, and yes, she does.
When it's like when Newt screamed, there was something going on.
Yes.
You needed to pay attention. So
it was just more of a, like, it was loud and you recognized it. So, like, her scream at the beginning, like, you recognized it. And then every time she screamed, it was like you connected it. So even if you had a question about whether or not it was the same kid, when she screamed the first time, you're like, oh, that's the kid from the beginning that lost her whole family. And so, like, you connect with it more. So I would have been upset, too, if I was that character and I was sitting down with that cut and been like, why does it look like I'd go after some random kid? It doesn't, like, you have no idea my connection with kids or little girls in general. Is the scene between her and Newt where she's talking about how she had a daughter still in there?
The with the doll?
Yes.
The doll, yeah, that's
And she's
new.
like, it's plastic.
Right.
Yeah, and she was like, oh, I had a daughter.
Yeah, they talk about that.
Yeah.
But
is that in the actual cut?
Yes, that's in the theatrical cut. So
at least there's that.
Here's some other apocrypha for you. According to the shooting script, Vasquez and Drake spent their childhood together in a Hispanic slum and were drafted in the Colonial Marines from juvenile prison.
Well, that's interesting.
But it also makes sure that
their connection,
their relationship, like, I think they're the closest to Marines out of everybody in the group.
Yeah,
and so
I agree.
there's all their friends. Everybody else, I think, are they're combat buddies. They serve together, but these two are
they're colleagues, but they're friends.
Yeah, these are friends. Yeah. So James Cameron turned in his first treatment for the film called Alien 2 at the time on September 21st, 1983. Some of the differences between the initial treatment and the final film include the following. The character Carter Burke is absent. Instead, the dialogue was given to someone named Dr. O'Neill, who did not join Ripley and the Marines on their voyage to the colony planet. Instead of being taken to Gateway Station, Ripley was taken to Earth Station Beta. The name of the colony planet was Akron, taken from the alien script, instead of LV-426. Ripley's daughter was alive, and Ripley has a disheartening phone conversation with her, a video phone conversation with her, where she blames Ripley for abandoning her for going into space. I'm glad they didn't shoot that. I like it. While it's heartbreaking that she's dead, it would really upset me to have them like, yeah, you abandoned me. I don't love you anymore.
Yeah. And she had a hard enough time with it, too.
Right. There were multiple atmospheric processors on the planet. The initial discovery of the aliens on the colony planet is much longer, where it showed how Newt's father gets to the site on the egg and is jumped by a facehugger. In addition, scenes involve a rescue team going to the site of the aliens and being jumped by 10 facehuggers. The aliens sting people by paralyzing them before either killing them or cocooning them. At one point, Ripley, Newt, and Hicks are cocooned. The alien cocooning people are a different breed. The aliens cocooning people are a different breed. They look smaller and they're albino. Bishop refused to land on the planet and pick up Ripley. Hicks and Newt indicate the risk of contaminating other inhabiting worlds is too great, so you can't get your sickness too. It's like COVID on other planets. Ripley ends up using the colonist shuttle to get back to the Suvako. Bishop tells her, "You're going to be right about me all along," and then they had to do a lot of work on this. So that's some apocrypha for you.
Very interesting.
Bar trivia?
I agree.
Sure, let's go.
Let's do it.
How many Oscars was this nominated for?
5.
Ooh, look at you. Can you name any of them?
Nope.
Can you name any of them?
Oh, it's got to be special effects, cinematography,
Best actress, best supporting actress.
I'm thinking a lot of them are going to be tech stuff, like makeup, special effects, cinematography, that kind of stuff.
It won for best special effects editing and best visual effects.
Yeah.
It's nominated for best actress for Sigourney Weaver. What is an important note about that? That's the first time in Oscar history that an action film had a Best Actress nominee.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, wow.
She did not win. She still is Oscar-less, which is a shame. She's I think 2 or 3 odd nominations now because she's got this and Gorillas in the Mist and maybe Working Girl.
Oh, Gorillas in the Mist was really good.
Best Art Direction, Best Sound, Best Film Editing, and Best Original Score. James Horner did the score of this and capitalized some of the stuff he did on Star Trek 2.
There you go.
What he didn't use, he used in this. So like most films, this movie wasn't shot in sequence. But for added realism, James Cameron filmed the scenes where we first meet the Colonial Marines, which is one of the earliest scenes in the movie, last. That's why the reason why he wanted the camaraderie of the Marines to be realistic, so the actors had spent months together, so that they wanted them all to
know each other.
Right. Lance Henriksen, who plays Bishop, the android, had privately pledged to quit acting if this part didn't work out for him after just years of just terrible roles. It proved to be one of his most successful films. It really gave him a boost to his career.
What else did he do?
Oh, he's in a ton of stuff. He's one of those guy. Because in fact, every time we see him, we don't. I keep forgetting his name. I just call him Bishop. But
he's like a character actor.
Yeah, he's in a ton of stuff. Let's see. So here's something that I found interesting, and I went back and verified.
All right.
So in movies, when there's countdowns, they're never right.
Right.
They're never, because it's a movie and they got cuts and things.
Right.
So in both the standard and special edition versions, the 15-minute countdown at the end of the movie is indeed 15 minutes.
Oh, that's really cool.
I read that and I was like, and watched it and timed it. It is 15 minutes.
That's awesome.
So.
But do you think it actually took her 15 minutes to get where she was going?
Yeah.
Like, if it was in real life?
Yeah, it took 15 minutes in and out. Probably took, 5 to get down there, 5 to do the alien, 5 to get back. Bill Paxton constantly apologized to Carrie Henn, who played Newt, throughout the film every time Hudson had to swear in front of her.
Oh.
Carrie later admitted that she didn't mind, mainly because she didn't know what any of those words meant.
That's hilarious.
Aliens was never shown in front of test audiences, which is a big thing. They always show the movie in front of test audience because editing and scoring was not complete until the week before the theatrical release.
Oh man.
Yeah. Only a studio screening was performed at 20th Century Fox, which was enthusiastically received. Marketing experts later said that Aliens probably helped save Fox, which was in desperate need of a hit. Do you know what makes the alien screams?
No.
Is it Newt?
No.
No.
What makes the sound?
What makes the sound?
Baboon shrieks.
Really?
They alter them in post. Michael Biehn got the call on Friday night before shooting for him to take over the role of Hicks.
Oh, God. Who was going to be Hicks?
James Remar.
Okay.
Who was in London to start a film. So he got called on Friday to film the following Monday. Coincidentally, the same situation happened to John Hurt when he was cast as Kane as John Finch dropped out. So those things happen again. They publicly said that James Remar had creative differences with James Cameron. It has since been released that he had a drug and alcohol problem, and so they parted ways that way.
All right.
Ripley's miniature bathroom in her apartment is actually a British Airways toilet purchased from the airline.
Nice.
Okay.
Mini Business wanted to buy the power loaders as forklifts. Sadly, none were bought because none of them are real. They're a combination of stuntmen and miniature work. But,
that's kind of sad.
And I'm surprised to this day no one has invented it.
Right, because those are cool.
Those are cool.
A lightweight dummy model of Newt was constructed for Sigourney Weaver to carry around during scenes just before the Queen chase. So she had the gun in this. So she's carrying a doll. And I looked really hard and I couldn't tell. It's really close.
That's good.
Here's some fun things. How many times do you think the word fuck is used in this movie?
49.
No, not that long ago. I would say 7.
25.
Really? I'm so
out of those 25, how many of them belong to Hudson?
The majority.
20. Or 75%.
I'd say 17.
Close. 18 of them were spoken by Hudson.
There you go. I'm so desensitized to that word that I wouldn't even have noticed.
How many times do you think Hudson says "man" in this movie?
I'm going to go 49 for that one.
Yeah, I'm going to say 46.
35.
Jeez Louise, man. Get it together.
According to Al Matthews, who plays Apone, the sergeant, when James Remmer was still cast as Corporal Hicks, Remmer was using an Ithaca Model 37-pump action shotgun, the same one Hicks uses in the film, and actually blew a hole in the set of Frank Oz's Little Shop of Horrors, which was filming next door.
Oh, my God.
Which, in Aliens, at Pinewood Studios. Matthews then said to Rimmer, "Where the fuck did you get live ammo?"
Oh, my God.
4 actors from this movie appeared in various Terminators movies. That's Michael Biehn, Lance Hankerson, Bill Paxton in Terminator, and Jeanette Goldstein in Terminator 2 for Judgment Day. So
Yep.
Michael Bihn's also in deleted scenes in Terminator 2. The colony is named Halley Hope with a population of 158. This is revealed on the special edition. If you look carefully, they say they have a sign saying "Have a nice day" painted on it.
Mm-hmm.
In Hungary, the film is called the name of the planet, Death.
All right.
Alien was called The Eighth Passenger, Death.
All right.
Thought that was fun.
All right.
Hungary. They love to rename things.
I want to play another game with you.
Okay.
How many Marines can you name?
Like real Marines?
Space Marines, Colonial Marines. How many of the Colonial Marines can you name in this film?
Hudson, Hicks,
And Vasquez.
Vasquez, and then the other one that she's really close to, and then the guy that fell asleep with a cigar and then woke up and had the cigar and just put it back in his mouth.
Seriously, I can only name the 3. They're the
And
only
then
ones that stood out to me.
Would technically Bishop be a Marine?
No.
He's not.
Ah, balls. Okay, hold on, because there were other ones in the beginning that died.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 12 Marines.
Right. I just thought that they were kind of just cannon fodder.
They're all named, though, and they all say their names.
Yeah.
I heard them. I'm terrible with names. This is a terrible game for me.
I should have did this like...
What was the lady that drove it with the... Oh, my gosh. Okay, hold on. First of all, the lady driving the ship with the sunglasses, all right, made a comment about not being able to see something. After she had her sunglasses, I was like, there's no, like, sunlight anywhere. Like, why is she wearing sunglasses? And then she did it, and then later was like, I can't see you. I was like, oh, my God, it's because you're wearing those sunglasses. And then she ended up dying. And the guy on her ship, too, they both died. I don't remember their names, but those 2 died.
There you go.
Ready?
Yes.
Yep.
So the sergeant in charge is named Apone. He's the guy with the cigar.
All
Okay,
right.
cool. That one.
That's Abra. So then you have Crow. He's the one that's talking about when they're talking about Arcturian Poontang. Yours was female. There's Corporal Dietrich. She's the
Sunglasses?
no.
Oh.
She's the one who.
There's another she?
Yeah, she's the one who.
I only thought there were 2 females.
Nope. She's the one who checks out Newt and says that she's malnourished, but she's okay.
Okay.
Oh, I do remember her. Yes. Okay, continue.
So there's Drake, who's the other guy with the smart gun like Vasquez.
That was her friend. They did that cool little scene together where they moved at the same time.
Right.
Like, chuck.
Corporal Farrow, he's the one who talks about Arcturian Poontang.
There you go.
He's the one also puts. Well, no, Drake's the one who puts Bishop's hand, not Bishop's hand, but Hudson's hand, so Bishop can do that. Private Frost, he's important because he's the guy who gets caught on fire.
Well, all right.
And that's why they named him Frost. So
That's hilarious.
Oh, right. I see what you did there.
Yeah,
okay.
I didn't do that. James Cameron did that. Lieutenant Gorman is the guy in charge. Corporal Hicks is awesome. You got Private Hudson. Private Spunkmeyer.
Spunkmeyer?
Oh, I remember that. There's a White Minsel or something, too. There's a weird...
Worsbasky.
Yes. There's a weird long one.
Yeah. So Spunkmeyer is the one that's also on the dropship. He's the one who puts his hand in the alien goo.
Oh, yeah.
So he's Spunkmeyer.
So he's the one that dies with the lady with the glasses.
Right.
Because he's like, it's fine. I'm raising it.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Pharaoh. I got my guys mixed up. Pharaoh's the pilot.
Okay.
The one with the glasses.
Cool.
Corporal Pharaoh's the pilot. And then, of course, you got Vasquez.
Right.
And then last is Worsbasky. And what I know about Worsbasky is he's the one who gets picked up when they're all being attacked. And he's getting spun around. You see his camera. And it just goes, round, round.
Right.
And then he dies. So Yay. So here's the thing about the name.
Okay.
And why it was called Aliens. So the original. Do you know what the original name for Alien was?
No, I don't.
Here's something for you. I didn't know this either. It originally was called Star Beast.
Star Beast.
Yeah, and so
I'm glad they changed the name.
Yeah, then everybody who changed the name for the screenplay previous film Star Beast to Alien because he noted how often the word alien was used in it. James Cameron similarly changed the name his screenplay from Alien 2 to Aliens after realizing how often the word appeared in it. It's also rumored that he convinced the studio by changing the name of the spelling to Aliens to Alien $, highlighting its box office potential.
There you go.
That didn't go over well. Because that didn't happen. So I feel like that didn't go over well. That didn't go over well.
When filming the scene where Newt is in the duct, and Carrie Henn kept deliberately blowing her scene so she could slide down the vent, which she later called a slide of 3 stories tall. James Cameron finally dissuaded her by saying, if she just completes the shot, she could play well in it as much as she wanted. She did, and he kept her promise. Carrie Henn only did this film. She didn't do any other films. She got this film because they had a limit of how many actors they could hire. In Britain. Her father was in the Army, and he's stationed over there, and so they just kind of happened to find out about it.
I thought it was Air Force.
Yeah, maybe the Air Force.
She's
maybe.
from Panama City,
yeah,
so I thought they were at Tyndall.
Maybe it was Air Force. And so so she was stationed there and with her family, and so her mom found out the audition, and she got the part. And so she's never had an interest in acting. She's a teacher in California.
Yep.
And she does conventions now, which is really cool. Lastly, before we leave and going on to Scream, Marry, Kill, I just want to note, because we talked about the you know what the white stuff that Bishop was throwing up?
Was some sort of
what was it?
Antifreeze
What did
liquid?
they use?
Yeah, what they used, yeah.
It looked like they used milk.
It's milk and yogurt.
That's what I'm saying. It's got to be milk and yogurt, which probably stinks.
But it also gave Lance Hankerson a dose of food poisoning.
Oh, gee, yeah, because it's spoiled.
It spoiled under the hot studio lights, and so it basically became a bacterial breeding ground.
Pretty much.
But
who would go milk and yogurt? That's a good idea.
Because visually, look at the drink that I come up with. I mean,
it's like
visually it's fantastic, and actually cheap ingredients too. So
still,
I couldn't decide on Screw, Marry, Kill, so I decided we'd do whatever you'd like to do.
Well, we got to have some sort of parameters.
No, anybody in the movie. Anybody in the movie. Because I typically like there's 12 Marines. You got Ripley. You got Burke.
Okay, I'm gonna pick
and Bishop, and so it's like.
And we all have to choose from the people I pick.
Right? No, because everyone will kill Burke. Right? No one's gonna stay with right.
That's not the same. Like Stephanie always ends up screwing or marrying the person we kill. First of all,
I'll let you pick. But I was looking at. I just kept thinking we'd all kill Burke, and I didn't want to.
I had already decided I'd pick Burke and then I'd kill him. So.
See,
well, you go first. I have to think about that.
Okay. Well, there's Ripley. I'm gonna include her. Ooh, I'm gonna include Sunglass Girl.
Pharaoh.
Yes, because she seems like a badass. She takes charge and she can see with sunglasses in the nighttime. So I really
wear dark sunglasses at night. So
there's no sun. You're fine. Like that's a dark, dusty planet you're going to. And she's like, I can't see. I'm like, well, no, duh.
That really bothered you.
It really did. And then I'm gonna go with. Can I pick the cat? Because I want to marry the cat.
I don't think you can legally. I don't think you can legally marry a cat.
Scotty, you gave me too many options. Like I need parameters.
Okay, I've got mine. I'll do mine first.
Yours.
All right, I'm going with the 3 Marines whose names I can actually remember.
See, that's the thing.
So I'm going with Hicks, Hudson, and Vasquez. So I'm going to screw Vasquez.
Of course you are. I knew that. I'm going
to let her screw me. Because I feel that that's the way it's going to go down. Just like that. And I'm definitely going to kill Hudson. And I'll marry Hicks because Michael Bihn's pretty. There you go.
I mean, Hicks seems like he's in charge. Like, I would feel like if I married Hicks He would take care of things. He would be good.
He was also very pretty in Terminator. So.
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't have other things to compare them to. I don't want Vasquez. I feel like that can get dangerous.
I'm hoping it does get dangerous.
I don't know if she's going to bring to bed. Okay.
Oh my God, she looks like she's.
And I don't
amazing.
need to marry her because I don't need her going off and getting hurt all the time. Like as a wife, that would stress me out. Like calm down, calm down. Derby wife, is that how you feel about me? Okay. Because that's too much. I think the pull-ups is intimidating. I can't handle it. So she's out. I don't want her in at all. I need you to give me 3 people.
Okay, let's do Ripley.
Okay.
Hicks.
Okay.
And Pharaoh. We'll go with you, Sunglasses Girl. I'll put Pharaoh for you.
Okay. So Ripley and I are going to get married. Okay. Because she can take care of her own. She's going to take care of me and our babies. Because she obviously takes care of her kids. Obviously. She's very good with kids.
Would you be Newt's stepmom?
Well, yeah. I would do a great job. It was Ripley, Pharaoh, and then...
Hicks.
Oh, man. Oh. Like, I think I would screw Pharaoh. Because, like, she's very, like, in control, and...
She could see at night.
She can see in the nighttime.
Do you know
what are you going to do in the darkness?
She is completely forgettable to me. I can't even picture her in my head. Which is weird.
The moment I saw her sunglasses, I was like, we just saw the planet of darkness. It's dark and dusty and dark and dark. And she had these, like, aviators on, and she was, like, the one flying everywhere.
Yeah.
And I was like, how can you see? How can you see? And then she made the comment about not seeing later, and it just stuck with me. So we're going to have sex, but Hicks is going to have to go.
Okay.
Thank you for taking control, Hicks.
Okay.
Someone's got to die.
How about you?
I will pick Ripley. I will pick Hudson. And I will pick Hicks.
All
right.
I love Hudson.
Oh, man.
I love Hudson so much. However, he is not the marrying type because I know he would get drunk with the boys at the bar and forget about me and our babies.
It would just be screaming at other people about his feelings.
Right. Can you imagine that? I mean, really, right? This is
No, you're right.
He doesn't look like a good father material. And while that's not 100% you have to do in marriage, but maybe that's what I want, Hudson. Maybe that's what I want.
Hudson.
I would screw Hudson, but again, I don't know where it's been. He could be a wild child and have all kinds of Arcturian STDs. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So,
he could, yeah.
So while I love you, Hudson, you have to die.
You did not get a rose, Hudson.
You do not get a rose.
You did not get a rose.
I guess Michael Bean is pretty, so I will screw Michael Bean.
There you go.
He's lovely. I've met him. He's a lovely gentleman. And I'm like, I can make that night magical for you. And I would marry Ripley because she deserves some happiness, and I would make her happy. And I would be a good stepdad to Newt, I guess.
Until she drowns, apparently.
I have a hang-up with Sigourney Weaver. I think she's a lovely person. Everything I've read about her, she's well-educated. She's a great actress. She is not attractive to me at all.
She's not. I mean,
and I don't know. It just bothers me.
I think that plays well for look.
It plays well for the roles that she does.
Especially in this one. Look, I don't get me wrong. I don't think she's unattractive. I mean, I think she's pretty.
Let's see what this looks like real quick.
But she's got that's a toy representation. But
she's she's tall and lanky, which is not a big deal.
Can we talk about what those pants do to her butt because it's not good?
But her features are very. I don't know. She has weird facial features.
She has a very strong, prominent jawline.
That's okay. I think that's why I think that's why it works in an action film.
It does.
It's really weird.
She's great.
It does work in an action film. You're right.
Like, damn, that's sexy. Just you've got a gun and a flamethrower,
so
baby.
High, it makes her butt look weird.
I don't care. Flamethrower.
No, look, let's get you out of the 80s and let's put you into the now.
Well, she's like over 6 feet tall
Yeah,
in real life.
She looks real tall.
She a tall lady.
Yeah.
We still don't need pants.
She's a big girl.
We're closing out the tab.
Oh shit, we're closing it out.
This will be quick
Close
because
it on down.
it's 1986, and I'm pretty sure you won't know what the films are.
Oh, I'm going to know all the films, Scotty.
Okay, then I'm going to put you on the spot. All right, so domestically, this movie did $85 million.
I knew that.
What do you think its opening weekend was?
25 million.
25?
I'm going to say 27.
10.
Really?
We were both off.
1986.
By a lot. He said 1986. Like that shouldn't matter.
So, like, I think if you adjusted for inflation, it would be like 24 to 27.
Okay.
Like, so you're right, but it actually makes $10 million.
Okay, cool.
Opened July 18th. The weekend was the 18th through the 20th. Where did it rank in the top 5?
1986.
July.
It's on the opening weekend?
10.
Opening weekend.
I'm going to say number 1.
So July is the summertime. This is what you got me. So it's a summertime movie. So summertime movies tend to be more kid-based because they're out for summer based off school. So I'm going to say second or third.
Number 1.
Okay, I was wrong. I tried.
Can you name any of the top 5 movies from that
It's a
weekend?
Bug's Life.
That's
in the 90s, isn't it?
Yeah, that's like 97.
Okay, so
Threw that.
it's 86.
86.
I was a freshman in high school. So we're going to...
That's not fair. I don't even have that. It's minus 3 years old.
I'm going to be way off because I don't remember.
Right, but this is
Lion King.
So, I don't know, Back to the Future, Top Gun.
Top Gun's one of them. That was number 5.
I was saying, I'm trying to think of things that were kind of in that. So Top Gun.
Interesting.
There's got to be
Nightmare on Elm Street.
No, that was 84.
Oh.
See, Top Gun.
Candyman.
One of the
90s.
James Bond films.
No.
Okay, I'm trying to think.
Toy Story.
No,
95.
That's 90s.
Shit.
You're in the 90s, my friend.
I'm trying so hard. I'm throwing down movies.
You're in the 90s.
You ready?
Too. Yeah.
Number 2 was Karate Kid Part 2.
Oh, I like that one.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Ruthless People.
I saw that. That's cute, too.
It's a cute movie. Number 4 is Back to School.
That's cute.
And number 5 is Top Gun.
All right.
So how did it... it made $85 million for the year. How did it finish in the year of 1986?
And that was the top 5 of the year?
That was top 5 of the weekend.
The weekend.
Of the weekend.
I'm going to say it.
I will give you the hint from when I ask you what finished the top 5 of the year. I have 3 of these movies on this list are in the top 5. Actually, 4 of the movies on the list are on top 5. So
Second.
Fourth.
5th. Very close.
5th. Okay.
Oh, man.
I had to think. I knew Top Gun finished.
What would you like to take a shot at the top 5 movies of
Sister Act.
of 1986?
They might not be in order, but it's definitely going to be Top Gun.
Top Gun's going to be up there.
Number 1.
Okay. It's going to definitely be. Shit. What was that other one you said?
He said Back to School.
That wasn't
You
one
said
of
that
them.
was a fun one.
But that's not.
He said Karate Kid.
Yes, Karate Kid 2 is going to be in the top 5.
Number 3.
He said
Aliens and
When we know Aliens is
5.
Aliens
4.
5.
So
we're missing
the other
number
two,
we're missing number 2 and number 4.
When you said 4 of those movies that you mentioned, so it'd have to be Ruthless People because I don't think Back to School did as well. I could be wrong.
Number 4, Back to School.
There you go. And so number 3 would be
Number 2. What do you think the second top movie? This movie was huge, and it was stupid huge. Like it ran for like a couple of years.
Jungle to Jungle.
No, God, I'm going to throw this water bottle at you in just a minute.
Can we all be proud of the number of films I'm throwing down?
Crocodile Dundee.
That's an awful
Jungle
movie.
to Jungle was very comparable
It's terrible.
to that.
It's a terrible movie, but it did run forever.
It ran forever.
Golly, that's a stupid movie.
So, out of all the movies that we've done one movie in 1986 on the Catacombs. We've not done one on cult movie Cantina. So we did FX, and FX came out at 45 on this list.
I remember FX.
Yep, Brian Dennehy.
Cool. I'm really proud of the number of films I just listed.
I'm kind of proud of that too.
They were all in the 90s, mind you, but yeah.
But I still threw them down.
So, at the end of the day, would you recommend this film?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I feel like I have a hard time recommending a film in the middle of a series.
let's put it this way. I have a face hugger that rides in my car with me. Yes.
So, do you feel like you've missed out on something?
Anytime we watch a film that's in the middle,
yeah, but
I feel like it's hard to. So this is how I compare it: is like if it's a film in the middle, like my brain automatically, because it's who I am, is Harry Potter. And it's like if we watched one in the middle, you'd miss his previous years. You wouldn't know his relationship with his uncle and his aunt or his cousins.
But those films are set up differently.
I know, but like every time I watch a film in the middle, I'm like, it also ties into the Star Trek film I watched. Where it's like if I had watched the ones leading to this one, I might know these characters.
Right.
I know that I had to have seen Alien at some point because I recognize the people and I recognize the situation, but I didn't know it enough to connect with it beforehand. However, having watched it by itself, I still followed along. I still felt intrigued by it. Nothing threw me off the whole time. So it was still a good film.
I think what makes this work is that you can watch it by itself.
You can.
You can, because you've got to,
that cliffhanger at the end is stupid.
It's not a cliffhanger.
Oh, it's a cliffhanger.
No, it's not a cliff. They're going home. What more
do
you?
Home. You're like, but who opens them up? Who wakes them up? Do they survive? Does the girl make it? Spoilers, no.
What it does is it's an obvious opening for another sequel.
Yeah. Or it can just end there, like, they make it, they're happy ever after.
But he leaves himself an opening for a good reason. I mean, he's made a lot of money on the Aliens franchise.
On the cult meeting, I will talk about some more things about that. There's some other avenues that this film led to, and so we'll talk about that then. So
awesome.
So Newt may not be dead.
Say what?
Just saying. We'll leave on that. This is Scotty saying this is our contribution to the multiverse. Go out and make yours.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.